Today I'm going to be tier ranking every book I've rated 5 stars on Goodreads. And I guess I'll amend that a little bit. It's not counting picture books or middle grade books that I have read, only adult books. I have 108 books that I have rated 5 stars. So today I'm gonna find the best of the best. It'll be interesting to see if most of mine that I'm still keeping at 5 stars are the ones that I've read most recently. I will try to be fair and not just, recent timeline interfering with my perception. So my categories, if it holds up and it's still amazing, it is definitely one of the best still. If I still love it, but it's not as amazing as some of the others. If it's good, but not as great as the others. I do recommend, but not an all-time favorite. My thoughts have changed over the years. And honestly, I can't remember it or I would need to reread in order to rank it. Future editing Bonnie here. So this was the first time I had tried using this tier ranking thing, and I already see things that are just going to be irritating. For example, I was still trying to figure out what books to include, if I was going to do middle grade or not, and if I was going to do full series or not, and I kind of decided that in the middle. And then I put a picture of one book up there that I thought I'd rated 5 stars, but apparently not. So you will see some books that are on the bar, but they don't get ranked, so I apologize if that is annoying. It's annoying to me. But anyways, that happened, and I know better what to do for next time. Okay, so the pictures were uploaded in the order of most recent, so this will be interesting in trying to rank and compare. I would say for funny story, I would say at this point that is still definitely one of the best. I reserve the right to possibly change it when I see what other romances are on my list. Beartown by Frederick Bachman, yes, I would say definitely one of the best. Fourth Wing, let's see, I loved it, and I do think it will be a top read from this year. My question is it definitely one of the best books ever? I would say so, because the vibe reading it, I could not put that book down. I'm putting it up there. Definitely one of the best. Look at me, they're all definitely the best. Tale of Two Cities by Dickens. I'm gonna put that in Still Love. I really enjoyed that when I reread it, but there were definitely some things that I didn't love as much as I think I did in high school. Inward by Young Pueblo. That is a great poetry book. I'm clicking the wrong one. I'm gonna put that in Still Love. That is a good book. How to Keep House While Drowning. This book I would definitely recommend. It's not an all-time favorite, but I would recommend that. It was really good. It had a lot of practical tips and advice, and taking some of the morality off of care tasks. That was really good. Romancing the Beat by Gwen Hayes. I would say it's definitely not one of the best all-time books, but if you want to write romance, I would recommend it. Bird by Bird by Anne Lamott. I would say, what would I say? My cat is messing with stuff. Please stop. I'm gonna put this, I think, as well in I do recommend it if you are a writer. I think it has some great insights and perspectives. Ooh, Someone Else's Shoes by Jojo Moyes. Ooh, that's a tough one. I would say it's definitely one of the best. The Woman They Wanted. This is tough too. This is tough. This is a book that is about, it's nonfiction, it's a memoir of a woman who was married to a high-profile evangelical pastor and a prominent spokesperson for the Purity movement in the 90s. And so it's a memoir of her coming out of that. I resonated with a lot of it. I would say, for me personally, definitely one of the best. The Ichabod, I liked that. I would say it's good, but not as great as the others. How the Word Is Passed by Clint Smith, definitely one of the best. I would say this is a book that everybody should read. Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. See, here we go. This is one of the best romances I've read. I'm putting that up there. Counting the Cost by Jill Duggar, Still Love. This is another memoir of Jill Duggar from the famous 19 Kids and Counting TV series, and a memoir of her kind of coming out of that and her life. It's a good book. Ejaculate Responsibly by Gabrielle Blair, definitely one of the best. I think this book should be required reading. It is so good. The Comfort Book by Matt Haig, Still Love. That's a good book. I really like that. She Deserves Better, Still Love. Heartbones by Colleen Hoover, Still Love. That was a good one. The Light We Carry by Michelle Obama. That is good. That was a very good book. Fair Play, I also am going to put there. Good, but not as great as others. Another nonfiction book. Love and Other Words, it was good. It's not an all-time favorite, but I liked it. The Library of Lost and Found, I honestly cannot remember this book. I even read a description on Goodreads, and it was ringing no bells. So honestly, can't remember that. What Alice Forgot, that is good. Leanne Moriarty, she's one of my favorite authors. The Wife Between Us by Greer Hendricks, still love. That's a good psychological thriller. I liked that. It Starts With Us. Let's see. I would recommend it, but it's not an all-time favorite. I did really like, I know it's controversial. A lot of people think it's glorifying toxic relationships. It's been a little bit since I've read it, but to me, I definitely read it as a woman getting out of a toxic relationship and recognizing that that was not okay and freeing herself. But maybe I would need to reread it. But as of now, I would recommend it. Atlas of the Heart, I do recommend. That's a good book. Just about like knowing your emotions, being able to name your feelings and the way that your heart works. I think it was good. I Must Betray You, that's a good book. I like that one. Historical fiction set in the 90s, I believe, in Romania. That was good. Hysterical, a memoir by Alyssa Bassist. I would recommend. More Than We Can Tell, I really liked that book by Bridget Kemmerer. That's a good book. The It Girl, it's a good thriller, but not as good as some others. Invisible Women, this is, where should I put that? Still love. Love is with a question mark after because it's kind of annoying, but it's a really good book. Let's see if I can, Data Bias in a World Designed for Men. It's really good. Good information. It lays things out with lots of data and statistics, but it's not cool, so it's a little irritating too. Book Lovers, it's good, but not as great as the others. No Drama Discipline. Okay, so Daniel Siegel. Okay, how do I'm debating if I should put it in I do recommend or I honestly can't remember. I'm putting it in I do recommend because I remember like the basic takeaways. He has a lot of really good points. It's very not technical. What is the word I'm looking for? It's not an easy read. He's got a lot of like data driven, which is good. I like data. It was just not an easy read. But for people who want to know more about No Drama Discipline, and particularly with brain development in children and whatnot, it's good. The Golden Couple. Ooh, where do I put that one? I would say Still Love. Accidental Saints, I would say, let's see, I wouldn't say my thoughts have changed on it. I would say I would recommend it, especially for people who are in religious circles. The Testaments, Still Love. That's a good book by Margaret Atwood. Wholehearted Faith by Rachel Held Evans. It's good, but not as good as other, I guess, religious deconstruction books that I've read. An Indigenous Peoples History of the United States. This is good. Just good history that's not often taught. Okay, so this, I am actually just going to do the first book in the series, but I'm going to put in all the books implied in that first book, and this is A Curse So Dark and Lonely, and it's definitely one of the best. By Bridget Kemmerer. I loved the series. Loved it. Let's see. Starfish by Lisa Phipps. Honestly, I don't remember much about it. I do remember liking it. Clearly, I gave it 5 stars, but I don't remember much about it. And the same for Miss Benson's Beetle. I remember I really liked that book. I thought it was unique and fun, but I don't remember much of the plot. Companioning at a Time of Neonatal Loss. I'm gonna, where do I put it? I guess I would recommend, but not a favorite, but I would recommend it to people for whom it applies. If you're in nursing or midwifery or a doula or any sort of like caretaking role, I would say it's good. The Making of Biblical Womanhood, Still Love. That's a good book. The Color of Compromise, Still Love. That's a really good book as well. Just Mercy by Brian Stevenson, love and highly recommend. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I would say it's good, but not as great as others. And for Educated, let's see. I do recommend. Anxious People. Still love, but not my favorite Frederick Bachman. Mother to Son. I don't remember a ton about that. / I don't know that I would still give it 5 stars, but it's been a while, so I'm not really sure. I Think You're Wrong, But I'm Listening, Still Love. That is a really good book about how to, it's particularly about politics, but how to talk to people and be civil when you disagree on things. The New Jim Crow, I would say one of the best. That book is definitely worth reading. Let's see. The Crown by Meredith McCaskey. This book I still love. My friend wrote it. I highly recommend it. It's a good book. White Fragility, my first book in My Thoughts Have Changed. I gave this 5 stars, and I would say like it has some good things to say. However, all of these things can be said and found and read about from people of color. And my perspective has just changed a lot in that a white person coming in to say the exact same things that people of color have been trying to say and are saying. There are other great books to read on the topic where you can get better educated than this book. Around the World in 80 Days. It was good, but not as great as the others. I liked it more than I thought I would, but I would not say it's a favorite. I would say as well for Black Dignity in a World Made for Whiteness. Unbroken by Laura Hillenbrand. I honestly don't remember much about this book. Small Great Things by Jodi Picoult. I also don't remember this one. What is this about? I've got to look up the synopsis. Oh yeah. Now I don't know where to put it. Because now I vaguely remember the plot, but I don't remember detail. I guess I'm going to leave it here because it's going to need a reread. But I do remember that. I'm going to put this is The Story of the World. It's a history textbook from when I was homeschooling my 3rd grader, I believe, or 2nd grader. I'm not putting it in because my thoughts have changed. I don't know that I'd give it 5 stars. If we're talking about history textbooks, it was fine. But I feel like overall in the scheme of things and all of my books that I'm reading, I would say my thoughts have probably changed. The Sun Does Shine. This is one of the best books. Let's see, The Power of Showing Up for Your Kids. This is another book by Daniel Siegel, so it's very good. It is a dense read. That's a good word for it, dense read. This and No Drama Discipline, it's a dense read. Broken Trust, I don't remember a ton about it. It's also nonfiction. How We Love Our Kids by Milan and Kay Yurkovich. I would say, I'm going to put it in, it would need a reread. My gut is to say that I still love it. I remember this book having a remarkable impact because it talks a lot about where we come as individuals and as parents, our backgrounds, how we connect to people and see love, disconnections that we had from our upbringing, and then how to turn those around to be able to work through our things, our backgrounds, our baggage, to be able to parent well. I've seen some reviews in more recent, this past 6 months or year, that maybe my thoughts, if I were to read it now, my thoughts might be a little bit different. So I'm going to put it in, it would need a reread. Jesus Feminist, I would recommend it. It's not an all-time favorite, but I would recommend it. This is good. You know, maybe I will go back and do the other books in the series. A Vow So Bold and Deadly. Honestly, this would need a reread because I know I liked the whole series, but I don't remember details and like what was different in this book than the first book, so I would need to reread. But again, I love the whole series so much. Emily Climbs, this is the 2nd book in the Emily of New Moon series, so I would recommend it, but it's not an all-time favorite. Anne's House of Dreams, I don't remember details on this one or what specifically happens. Ready Player One, I'm going to put this in Still Love. This is a book that surprised me. I did not expect to like this book, and I really did. Divergent. This book, where do I put this book? This is a book that I loved the book when I first read it. I loved the series when I first read it, but I'm nervous now if I were to reread it that I may not like it as much. So I haven't reread it because I want to hold on to those memories. So the question is, do I put it as Still Love because of the memories? I am. That's what I'm doing. I'm going with my gut. Still Love, the memories. Tuesdays at the Castle. This is middle grade. I forgot I wasn't going to do middle grade. Okay, ignore that one. Emily of New Moon is still one of the best. Okay, let's see. Inspired by Rachel Held Evans. I don't remember. I liked it. but I don't remember details. Dombey and Son. I'm gonna put this in Still Love. This was a good Dickens book. It's probably in my top three Dickens books. Anne of Windy Poplars, same, I don't remember the details. I'm so sorry. Anne. A biography of Rosa Parks. It was fine. I don't remember it being like an exceptional biography, but it was a good overview of her life. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Not an overall favorite, and not my Harry Potter favorite. Favorite Harry Potter? What am I trying to say? Deathly Hallows. Wait, Deathly Hallows? I did not like that book. Why is that here? I thought it was the least, well, honestly, the first one and the seventh were honestly my least favorites, I want to say. Goblet of Fire, Still Love. That is my favorite Harry Potter book. Chamber of Secrets, it was fine. And Sorcerer's Stone, it was fine. The Help, good, but not as good as some others. Sinners in the Hands of a Loving God. I'm going to put this up here in Still Love because this book was just kind of a game changer. Come on, computer. In my thoughts. Anne of the Island. Yeah, I honestly don't remember details. The Crown. I'm pretty sure my thoughts have changed. I really enjoyed the whole selection series. I'm pretty sure the other books are, oh look, here they are. Let's go ahead and pop those up. I really enjoyed them at the time, but I think if I were to read them now, I would probably find a few things possibly problematic, and I don't think it would be for me. The Dickens book, it was fine, but it's similar to the Rosa Parks one. It was a fine overview of his life, but not an exceptional biography. No More Faking Fine. I remember liking this book. It's again nonfiction, I believe, about a person coming out of religious fundamentalism, but I don't remember details. The Light We Carry by Michelle Obama. That's a good book. I would recommend that. Nicholas Sparks' The Wedding. I don't remember details, but I remember liking it, clearly. The Blue Parakeet. I would recommend this one. This is good. This is about nonfiction, rethinking the way that you view and see and read the Bible. Wide Awake. I'm going to go ahead and put this as well in the My Thoughts Have Changed category because this is also a book on racism written by a white pastor, I believe. So yes, I would just be more quick to recommend books by people of color. Still Life by Louise Penny. It was good, but not an all-time favorite. A Fall of Marigolds, I would say it was fine. So I'm going to put that in good, but not as great as the others. The Deepest Waters by Dan Walsh. I don't remember much about that, honestly. Out of Sorts. Ooh, where am I putting that? I am putting that in, I'm going to put that in Still Love. It's Okay Not to Share. It's a good parenting book, but not one of my top parenting resources, but it's a good one. Same with Jesus the Gentle Parent. Diary of a Freedom Writer. This is biography, and it was good. I don't remember a lot of details on it, honestly, so I'm going to put that in, can't remember. Bonbons to Yoga Pants, same. I remember loving this book. I think I read this in like 2018. I remember loving it, but I would not be able to tell you what it was about. A Matter of Basic Principles. Where do I put that? I'm putting it in, I do recommend, but it's not an all-time favorite. I think, again, because it's kind of a niche book, this book is written by a person who was kind of exposing a lot of the false teaching and cultishness of the group led by Bill Gothard, the Institute of Basic Life Principles, which was the group that I grew up in. So I would recommend for anybody who has been in ATI or IBLP or knows somebody affiliated with it, it's a good read. Open to the Spirit by Scott McKnight. I think I'm going to put it here. My thoughts have changed. I almost was going to put it, I don't know, I was debating. Nonfiction, talking about the role of the Holy Spirit and that perhaps the Holy Spirit has a bigger role than most evangelical Christians would be comfortable giving the Holy Spirit. How we love, I'm putting it in 5 love languages. My thoughts have changed on this book. Obviously, it's not scientifically based, but I think that the main takeaways that I probably would still agree with, i.e., find the things that your spouse or people important to you, find the things that make them feel loved, and then do those things in genuine and kind and loving ways. I would agree with that. But I think as far as it being like a whole system or whatnot, I would disagree with that now. Flowers in the Snow, I honestly don't remember. It's another one that I remember I really liked at the time, but I don't remember details. How to Manage Your Home Without Losing Your Mind. It was good, but not as good as other kind of like household books that I've read. The Gender Game, okay, here's the thing. I am putting it in, I'm gonna put it in Still Love. However, honestly, at the end of the day, it's a whole series. I can't remember if there were 7 books, 8 books, something like that, and I really liked the series. It's been a number of years, so I kind of want to reread it, but for now, I'm putting it in Still Love. Also, the Storyteller. Ooh, I think I'm gonna put it in definitely one of the best. This book made me think a lot. It was so good. And the last book, Triggers. I think the tagline is how to trade your angry emotions for biblical, how to trade your angry feelings for biblical emotions or something like that. I don't remember. I'm going to put this in My Thoughts Have Changed. It was very helpful for me at the time, but I think that my thoughts would have changed by now. Okay, so here is my list, the best of the best for me. Funny Story, Beartown, Fourth Wing, Someone Else's Shoes, The Woman They Wanted, How the Word Is Passed, Part of Your World, Ejaculate Responsibly, A Curse So Dark and Lonely, The New Jim Crow, The Sun Does Shine, Emily of New Moon, and The Storyteller. Hopefully you've had fun coming along on this tier ranking, fighting it out for my actual top favorite books. I would love to hear from you in the comments if you disagree with any of my rankings, if you would change things, or what your tier system would look like for some of these. And until next time, happy reading!